Thank you for staying with us. President Bola Tinubu has again reiterated that on no condition should ransom be paid by government to kidnappers, bandits, or other criminal elements for the release of their victims. This was the focal point of the Riot Act on ransom payment. The government's decision to put a damper on kidnapping for ransom followed recent incidents, particularly in Kaduna State, where some children were kidnapped and held in captivity while the abductors demanded billions of naira for their release. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, noted that security agencies are working round the clock to tackle the increasing wave of kidnappings in the country. Joining us in the studio is public affairs analyst Oladeinde. Ariyo. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Now, if you look at the papers this morning, it's still talking about this matter of bandits demanding for 1 billion naira for the pupils, the over 280 pupils, and they are saying that in 20 days, if they do not get that ransom, they are going to kill them, so to speak. But the president is insisting there's no going back on his stance on no ransom to be paid for the release of the students, that security agencies should go for them. But the security agencies are saying that these persons are located in difficult locations, hard terrains, but then they are also calling on international assistance. Let's get your perspective on all of the dimensions that is before us as we speak.
Thank you very much. This thing crept on us gradually, and today it has become an industry on its own. My memory, if it has not failed me, it was the governor of Kaduna State that went to pay bandits. And when we took him off, he said that was the best thing he could do, that he had to settle them so that they would give him space to govern the state, the farmers to go to the farm, etc., etc. Of course, he wasn't right. Because I remember telling him, I sent him a message that, look, what you have done is to empower them.
Which of the governors?
Kaduna State Governor, Erufai.
Right. Needed to mention names.
Yeah. Why? If they were using them guns before, we have now given them money to buy AK-47 and possibly AK-49 or whatever arm or ammunition they will require.
They make use of our
it is not the way to go. It's not done. But in his wisdom, that was the best thing he could do. And see where we are today. Now, it's a double pain for me because Kaduna is home to our armory, to anything you could call military authority, power and strength in Nigeria, including home to our elite military training institution. The NDA is in Kaduna. And then you ask yourself, what happened? There's so many retired generals in Kaduna, so many, I mean, you just can't make it up that why Kaduna? Apart from that, technology has taken humanity to a point where anything at all in any corner of the world can be detected using so many facilities. But we seem either to be blind to technology or we're just pretending as if we don't know the right thing to know. There are geolocators that will spotlight the specific coordinates of where the people are located and then identify them as against 280 whatever. It's a huge crowd.
So they probably are able to geolocate where they are.
So what we are seeing...
The problem the director, the DHQ is saying is that it's difficult to assess.
We've been told this before. We've had this before. And that's my problem. When I saw the president's speech yesterday, I was unfazed. We were here when General Buhari, retired general, was instructing the chief of army staff, navy, and whatever I have then, giving them instructions, if you don't do this, that, go and do this. They did nothing. At the end of the day, he rewarded their incompetence by making them ambassadors. And with the pain has not gone, and this is now happening, making things look impossible. And I'm asking, what new thing is the president going to do now? What new story is he going to tell? What new song is he going to sing? That they should be okay.
We have 20 days.
Yeah, and You remember there was an earlier kidnap in the same Kaduna, I forget the girl's name now, Nabena, where she was mindlessly murdered in a similar situation. One would never have thought that we will so soon find ourselves repeating the same evil meal. And you look at the narratives, they go to schools that have children of the peasants. Perhaps if they had gone to an elite school where they have children of VIPs, governors, senators, or other big people, maybe something would have been done about it. Well, but they went to school where there are almajiris, you know, like me, I hate to use that word, lesser mortals. So all of us are here now talking. If perhaps they are holding a governor's son or governor's wife, the story would have been different. It's not encouraging, that the chief of defense or whatever is now telling us that they know where they are, but it is dangerous or difficult to get there.
Difficult terrain, yeah.
Sorry?
Difficult terrain.
Difficult terrain. Hey, are we asking a tailor to do the job of a carpenter? No. They are professionals. They don't have an excuse. Yeah, they should know their way around it. America came here to retrieve, to secure a national that was kidnapped. Successfully, it was taken away.
So an Islamic cleric, Sheikh Gumi, said that he won't advise the federal government to pay them, ransom or whatever money that they are asking for. But then he's advocating that there should be dialogue, that they should find a way to talk to them, because some of these people are actually agitating against some things. So do you feel that's the way to go to?
Even northern governors are saying the same thing. The non-kinetic approach should be used to tackling this matter.
You see, they say one bad apple in a basket will spoil the rest. We have allowed this thing to fester like a bad wound to the point where they had the courage, the temerity to demand for so much money and 150 motorcycles. Where will they use the motorcycles? There are too many questions that all of this thing has thrown up. I begin to wonder, can we ever get out of it? Then we say negotiate with them or have conversation. How do you want to discuss with characters of this type? For them to have the soul to go and kidnap young people, children who know nothing, they are left from their rights. They don't know why they are protesting, or they don't know anything. Now they are suffering for what they didn't.
Do we even know what they are protesting for?
And because we've been talking of safe school over time, and they said they were going to be fencing
schools.
Yeah. How many schools have been fenced? And it's beyond even fencing schools. People have been. The inflow of small arms into the country has gone unabated. Because if they are not armed, they wouldn't have had such an easy entry and ride. To carry away 200 and more people is not a child's play. And I've been wondering, did they use trucks or buses or how did they? And it was possible for them to come into town, achieve that, and then go into the forest.
So if the Nigerian army says that they're having issues in accessing some terrains, due to the topography in Nigeria, do you feel that the plan to bring up forest guards, as as promised by the president, will help solve these issues? Local hunters, those who definitely man our forest.
You see, the specific community where they are, they must have had the buy-in into that plan, because those children are being taken care of. I want to assume that they are being fed. Otherwise,
no, I don't think they are being fed, because while they were taking these children, we got a report that they were even the abductors themselves were starving, and they were eating leaves and all of that. At least that one of the victims that escaped, said that was
came back to give that report. I'm not aware, but you see, it's a good thing that we are getting offers of assistance from foreign countries. But for how long will this be allowed to continue? We have said this thing. It began from Boko Haram, terrorism, and then suddenly another word came in, banditry. Then, of course, kidnappers also came in. And then we don't even know where we are now. at the time that the previous government was forgiving, so to say, and ejecting arrested terrorists into the community, into the military, we spoke against it. But see where we are now. So all of these are built up of the errors of the past. Prior to coming here, I want to look at the Constitution. If there's any punishment prescribed for either head of state or governors who didn't do what they should have done, or who did what they ought not to have done. Unfortunately, Section 6 was very specific that whatever they do, whatever mistake they commit while in office, you cannot take them up on it. Otherwise, you keep asking yourself, when President Buhari asked Fulanis from all over the world to start coming to Nigeria, that at the border point they will be given passports and allowed to enter Nigeria. We didn't have these issues before. I grew up hearing of terrorism.
Are you insinuating that they are behind some of
the bulk of what we have been having started when they came in?
That's ethnic profiling. We cannot accept
I'm sorry, I have to let you. I'm not saying what we don't know. At that time, there was a global a noise against it that it shouldn't be done.
But criminals that have been arrested are not essentially from that
particular
part of that,
extraction.
Exactly. So there are people that cut across different tribes, different ethnic groups within the country.
But I'm telling you now that their incursion triggered some of these things.
Right.
And we got to a point that on Long Bridge, right here in Opi, people were kidnapped by herdsmen. Right, very close to us.
So you want to disagree with the fallout of the issue that happened with the crisis that happened in Libya, which led to the influx of some of these
arms and light weapons.
These were things that were in the public space. They were discussed, and nobody denied. One guy even admitted that they brought them in to assist them to win the election, and then after winning the election, they didn't know what to do with them. Those guys now went haywire. Now, we now have locals now, indigenous of Nigeria, who have now copied them, seeing that they were making a hell of money from kidnapping. Kidnapping now became hot cake. Yeah. Unlike robbery. You may just rob a man. If you rob me, you will not get anything from me. But when you kidnap somebody, even if he doesn't have money, the community, the family, everybody will start looking for ways and means to make sure.
But how do we address this matter? We are here now.
Yeah, we are.
We need to look for how to get out of the quagmire.
I'm still going to advise that the security agencies is their purview, is their business, whether they like it or not. Therefore, if they need help, they should start reaching out to countries, especially in South America, where kidnapping is an industry. It's a big deal. Okay? They should reach out to them. Let them learn. Probably unlearn what they learned before and relearn new things. We cannot continue this way because the more they make the north inhabitable for people, the more there will be inflow of people into the other parts of the country. And we cannot manage that crowd. Already, Lagos is overcrowded. If you want to know, go about in the evening on some off streets. You will see human beings sleeping outside on bare floors because they have nowhere to sleep. And you will see so many jobless, idle people around doing just nothing. And what other thing do we need when we say crime is festering? Because they must feed, if anything. And that is a big challenge. So now that the US has said they will help us, let's not just reject it. Let's embrace it wholesale.
So you're not wary of foreign intervention that it might not exactly... Because, for instance, we look at El Salvador, President Bukele is able to crack down on cultism and all of that, and then that country seems to be seemingly, peaceful. But he's against the US, that the US is not happy that the country is peaceful now.
Well, but perhaps we should not compare our situation with theirs. Okay? The dynamics, narratives definitely are different. But in this case, we need help. Normally, you don't encourage the use of guerrillas or foreign fighters in your community. Yeah, because they may also come in and create fresh problems. But it is obvious that these ones that we are facing, we've not been able to manage it, not been able to tackle it, neither have we been able to put an end to it. And it's not looking like it's about to stop.
Except we have some intervention.
Amotekun, when they came in the southwest, we had some measure of peace. I think the election came and then they lost track. And that's why I'm glad that they're now thinking of having a state police.
Right.
Yeah, because initially I was against having state police because of the cost of having a proper police. But as it is, we have no choice. We just have to, whatever maturity that we think the governors may lack and may abuse the police, put it aside. Let's chase away the court and then come back to really mind whatever challenge will come. Because it's unheard of. It makes the entire country unsafe for people.
All right. We have to, wrap up this conversation here now, but the message has been passed. We must thank you, Oladeinde Ariyo, Public Affairs Analyst, for your time on the program. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this is where we draw the...
Before we draw the